perseverance bit, and typically young people are impatient. They are in a hurry to grow, and we live in times where nobody wants to be slotted in that cubicle and under the humdrum of training. So what is the challenge you face when it comes to having that right fine balance between talent and somebody who's actually going to transitioning to the next stage and is ready to actually mentor other people?
Shamni, to put it in a perspective on this, relevant to the context and the content, I think, we are giving overemphasizing the fact about the millennials, young people. They need to be treated very differently from what it was. If you see, every generation is very different. If you're talking about developing leadership skills or identifying the talent and nurturing them and growing them, it is not something today. Some of the organizations have been doing it for long. I'm sure all of us here, and including myself, I'm the beneficial of it. Who thought in 1963 DCM has started senior management training? TO is Tata Administrative Service. What is the whole concept? Catch them young, groom them for the future leadership roles. I think as Anurajita has said it, leadership, firstly, as a concept we should understand before we identifying the people, leadership at all levels. This is where the culture and the values of the organization, how you want to develop and groom people matters. I think age and other aspects are secondary to me. I think young people have to be groomed or trained. Okay, what are the challenges? I think these challenges, some of them have come, and we need to recognize and apply, because as compared to my generation versus my parents versus my children, I think it has got an advantage because of the onset of globalization. The work cultures have a paradigm shift, so it's become more global, and technology has created further improvement in terms of digital communication and so on. So the current profiles of the millennials or Gen Y is a little bit different, because they are not worried about content, they are more worried about context, they want the big picture. They are not worried about controls, they wanted more collaboration. They wanted not rigidity but flexibility. They don't want to be monitored, but they want to be mentored. They don't want to be critiqued, but they want to be coached. So, their expectations, freedom to act, prepared to take risks, the cultural innovation, those are the aspects which have become. So, the focus is little bit shifted in terms of addressing these issues because of the globalization, because of the technological changes. Naturally, the current generation is a little bit different from what we have seen from baby boomers or Gen X. So I think, these needs to be fine-tuned. But companies who have been having this consistent philosophy of groom young, for instance, in SmithKline and now is Glaxo, which Arun can talk more, he's been identifying, because the GSK has got one of the youngest CEOs at the age of 42. He's a management trainee of Glaxo. So I think, all this has happened, but I think it's more important now, as you said, people are expecting leadership roles at a very young age, which is good, because this has to do with the growth of the organization, growth of the business, and the growth of the country. So I would say that these are challenges. As long as you understand the challenges, I think it's not very difficult to fit them. It's a question of the culture. That's why I want to end up to say, culture eats strategy for breakfast. I think if any organization, if is saying, what is your outlook, what is your value proposition to people to groom them, is very important.